Good morning. How are people doing? Just let me see where should be live. Okay, we got somebody there. Hi, Tinguish. How are you doing? Let's see. My announcements should be good. Tweaking the tweaking alchemy system. What alchemy? Okay, I'm good. Alchemy system for what? You writing a story? Making a game? Okay, that's okay. I need to fix that. Okay. Well, um, let's see where we are at in terms of. Well, I'll hold off on announcements. Let's just jump into what we're doing today. Shapicha, picha chupju, 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 shapicha chupju, shapicha, picha chup, chupju, shapichu. One thing I do keep going back and forth on is like, should this be low tone or not? Because low tone comes from stress, which, as the definite article, this would often be just unstressed. However, if we talk about articles, thing is, yeah, we have sha and bi. Those might end up just being toneless, but then we have shapu, shapu, shapu. That I need to have like differential stress between the two syllables, unless I at some point just reduce it to shop. I could reduce it to shop. I haven't done much with examples for plural nouns, so I'm not sure if I want to keep this as shapu. chapeau, chapeau, or to reduce it to the chap. But like in dusk, this doesn't have a tone, and also it is a functional word that usually wouldn't have stress. So I don't know if it should have a tone. But anyway, that's not. Hello, Phoenix. How are you doing? Okay, so actually, we've got a couple of people here. Um, a reminder that I do have a poll up that is open to everybody. You do not have to be a paid patron to access this poll. It's up for free. Um, we've got 9 votes total. I don't know if that corresponds to that many people voting because there's like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9. That's not people. That's actual like votes on the thing because you can vote for multiple things. And it's just an advisory poll. I'm not bound to this, but it looks like there's a slight preference for more complex names. I'm trying to make some character names and dealing with the issues caused by the noun class system when I'm making character names. I can't always use the solutions that NetLang's come up with because of the unique nature of this language. I am interested in doing complex names because um, the one of the issues, and like there are people who like the stacking class markers. I have a way to do that that I think is not so like jarring. So that's something to think about. But yeah, if you haven't voted on that, just go to the Patreon, or I can link it right here. You got hay fever, Phoenix? That's not good. Anyway, you can click on that, and I think you need to make a Patreon account, but you do not have to pay anything for that poll. I made it free. Um, one thing I will say that I figured out since then is when I'm doing this. So Raven is S2E68 in Dawn, right? One thing I can do is have things that leave a trace of what the original was. So instead of Shaesi, I can go Shaesi, Shaesi, and the same thing works even better here because there's already a W in Myosul. So I want to call somebody Bison instead of Shamalsi, Milesi. I can go with Shamalsu, Shamalsui, Shamalsui. So that I feel is an elegant way to get through it. I'm not sure if I would want to do it like maybe I think it's like a case by case basic. It's like if I think about, okay, Skyfire, this probably should be celestial, right? And we could go with Sha Chichi Ta Chichi Hupi. But do I want to do that? That I think is a little bit too weird, or a Chichi Hupji. I think in that case, Chichi Hui is a little better, and I would just delete the um, celestial. But anyway, that is where I'm at for that. People, I'm gonna close that off, and excuse me, so I don't prevent, so I don't. I'm also going to mute the Discord tab on my other thing. I'm still hearing it. Where is it? Where is it coming from? The Discord app quit. Okay. I don't know if you guys were even hearing that. But anyway, that is not what we're here for today. Let's jump back in. Today, we have done our prepositions. Now we're going on, move on to verbs. I can reorder these sections later, but hey. There we go. Now we're going to go. We're going to do exactly the same thing that we just did for prepositions, in that I'm going to go through each of the verbs. By the way, I have decided I haven't gone through and changed it all. I really need to input these into the Dawn lexicon. But I actually have decided to go back on the earlier decision after using the prepositions in phrases. I no longer like the idea that the agreement is mandatory when there's an object. So if you remember in middle fay, the agreement doesn't occur when there's an object. I'm going to have that actually continue into dawn and dusk, in all four of the dialects, I guess, because like these are fine if there is no object, but I feel that they're quite heavy if there is an object, and I don't like that. Prepositions ideally should be just sort of like there, just should be kind of light. It's also like the particular grammaticalization path that gets us here, where we're fusing a preposition with a, why am I holding this in my hand? Fusing a preposition with a pronoun lends itself more to the bare form still existing. So I think I will keep the bare forms. The bare forms will be like the citation form, and I have to. I need to edit the dictionary for that, but that'll be off screen. Today, I need to go Sylvan Notes, and I need to go grab dialect split auxiliaries. So okay, we have this. So day, dawn, and dusk do not carry tense and aspect information on the verb. So they need a dummy auxiliary unless it's in like simple present tense. Um, I don't know why I don't have, I had a chart somewhere of exactly what all of the auxiliaries do. Okay, verbs. Okay, I have the auxiliary, that's here. Okay. So let's copy this. Give me the table. Give me the table, please. And then I'm going to be inputting these directly into the dictionary. So let's delete columns that we don't need. So, okay, so we have, oh, this is not going to take too long. Because we have two that just do not occur anymore. The Theta and Kitach do not exist anymore. Yeah, so there are actually only three? That's kind of wild. Okay, so maybe some more can evolve. We might blow through auxiliaries and then get into modals. So we'll go down the line. So let's make sure that we rerun our sound changes, and don't worry about this. I was making some words. Ka and so we go with yeah, we'll run the full paradigm for ka in middle phase so that we have it, even though it becomes actually a particle. Okay, so let's jump in Sylvan inflection. So verb root to lexigy. This is this sheet is so messy. Okay. Okay. Make sure I'm not revealing things. I do way too much stuff inside of Notepad++, and I just leave my tabs open. I don't I don't even save things all the time. And then we're going to jump into Lexergy, and we can do this. Then, so we're going to go to Obsidian. What was the purpose of this? Okay. Ka. What does ka mean? I think I had some idea. And then, so what I've been doing is ka. And what is this? I want to actually know the auxiliary. It does mean something. Okay, it meant stand up. And what I'm gonna do is export this. I'm gonna get that into a verb chart. Let me make sure. Okay. And then if I can take that and paste that in. So the third person singular present, basically this is the base form. This is what should be the citation form. Ka. And then, so should I go ahead and dump? I think I want to dump all of that into the Dawn sound changes because I might want the actual verb to survive. So it would, you would get hafu, hafi, hashi, how, hey. I think, yes. So what we'll do is, this is that form. Is ha, right? We go to dawn, new note, we get ha. And And this is a particle. And the meaning is what is the new meaning exactly? Perfective. Past perfective. So I need to come up with some examples for what that means. So this does not have any inflection because it's just a particle. It just doesn't. It's not marked for anything. Now, what I can do is I can also take actually belay that. I will not be adding this. I will just add a secondary verb. That means I think maybe not stand up. I think let's actually go take a look at clicks maybe. Not the clicks I want. Stand up. Stand up. Okay. Stand up. Okay, this is a little bit okay. I need to look at the list for stand up. So stand up can go to just stand. It can go to go up or ascend. How we got some variety in here. These are not super strong. This one, okay, this one, this one. Most of our examples are uralic. Are those? These are probably related. This could be. I don't know. That's okay. So these are mostly happening in uralic, and most of them seem to be obviously related. So that's something I do look at in clicks because it gives me the language families. Is like, is this a I you can still use something that only occurs in one family, but it's extra information for you to think about. Okay, well, is this worth checking? Is this common or is this particular to like one like fluke that happened? Here we've got it happening in Hmong Mien, Sino-Tibetan. Those would influence each other. Ainu, Turkic, Indo-European. So pretty broad in terms of geography overall. So, and I kind of think like what I think was stand an auxiliary or was it a source for something else? I'm going to look at my walk and step, and we have particles. I don't think it was. I don't think stand became anything. I don't think I ever made a verb meaning to stand. So maybe I can have a word for stand grammaticalized as a copula. I'm not sure if I've done the copula yet. Um, and this would take its place, but I think stand is a pretty reasonable um, thing for ha. And now, so it's this particle. It has lost its status as an auxiliary, and a part of all of that is we go back here, we grab the dawn forms, and we are going to dump them into here. And since it is only a regular verb, now we're just going to go here and we're going to just paste in this reduced chart, which only has agreement morphology, because now main verbs only have agreement morphology. If you want tense aspect mood, you have to add an auxiliary. So you get hafu, hatu, hashi, like hafu, hatu, hashi, hau, hau, hai, ha, hau, hau. That's weird. Hau, ha, hapja. And also we have hasa, hachi, hai, hafu. So ha, probably should put this into the sound changes, but we want to break up that into hala. I might write that into sound changes now. Now that we've decided like this hiatus is broken up by an L. Um, I just, it's an easy thing for me to do manually, but I don't really like doing things manually if they're regular. Um, so yeah, that's all I need to transfer that. We'll come back and do it in dust later. So this is crossed off. So we want pukai becomes puha, habitual, and this is a proper auxiliary. So we're going to go jump in. Let's go find that one. So it was originally an iterative. It meant to step. I think that this one with ka, there was a really good way to like make it go two different directions. With pukai, I don't know if it still means step at all. We do kind of want to. Oh, I'm realizing that we do want the. We already did this. It's ban and becomes ba, right? Um, these particles are interesting. Um, okay, I'm going to go take this. We're gonna see about. See, I'm most familiar with auxiliaries in like English and Spanish. And in those languages, the auxiliaries always like retain a full verbal meaning. If you think about the auxiliaries that exist in English, do has an auxiliary meaning and a verbal meaning. Um, have also auxiliary meaning and a verbal meaning. To be, okay, that's the copula as well as being an auxiliary. So that's where my mind goes, but I don't know if there are cases where an auxiliary can just be completely bleached out and not mean anything anymore. Um, so we want to do the thing where we go here and we where are these blanks even coming from? So I don't know. I kind of that makes me feel like auxiliaries should like go in two directions, but that's not necessarily. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Already okay. So oh, I have to talk. Okay, so I'm going to. So I have kutak. I have kutak. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I just need to. I just need to do some revision here. Excuse me. What's this dependent form? And then I'm going to actually make it like this so that we have that. Now it doesn't seem to have any descendants yet. So Dawn, it would be Pusa, and it doesn't seem to be there. I'm contending with what? So this is what auxiliary was this even? Yeah, it's the habitual. So we're going to go up here. Oh. And we're going to go, yeah, I get allergies. Um, so pusok, so pusa, okay. And then we need to get this. Getach. And it is, I think, ox is what we would call it. And we jump in here. What is the, why am I doing that? No, it's not an auxiliary. We lost that auxiliary. Why was I doing that? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to, okay, so let's actually have this verb. Let's actually have this verb just mean walk. Like it retained its lexical meaning, but it lost, um, the auxiliary meaning. Wait. What is going on? Oh, it's put that all in one cell. Okay. Right. So it ends up becoming like reducing to just a lexical verb. And that works for me. And so it would be pusa. And we need the the pronunciation from here. So pusa. Okay. Now let's go to the actual thing that I meant to be doing, which is I need to get bukai. I need to get the etymon for bukai, which is step. So the iterative in dawn and dusk do different things. In dawn, they lose the original habitual, and then the iterative becomes the habitual. That works. That works for me. So let's go and get this. I am once again going to tell people to shout to any programmer that is out there. Okay, this has a space in it. I don't want a space. Any programmer out there who has any inkling of wanting to make a conlang software, please, the thing that I want more than anything else is to integrate um not even like integrate word generation, because I know it not everybody cares about word generators, but integrate my morphology into a sound change applier so that like I can type the root in. Okay. So that I can type the root in, and then um it will do this for me, and and it will do it while running the sound changes. I would, even if you just did like doing it within Lexergy is not an option for me because I want to have the whole paradigm generated. But it like if you could have input the root and spit out a chart, that is what I would like. And of course, like there's a lot of steps to do that, because what you need to do it right is you would need, okay, you can take this word, make several copies of this word, add different things at different stages of the derivation, ideally, um, and then continue on doing the derivation, and then put each of these variants into a chart that is user defined, which I know takes some effort, but I'm sure that that can be done. So we got, let's see, do we have this in the thing already? Let's go. Okay. I do not have. Let's Bukai. Yeah, I don't have that one. Sometimes I have random things in there, and sometimes I don't have anything. Okay. So give me my sidebar back. Bukai. And then middle Sylvan, we get give me my chart. It's just there's a lot of extra clicks that I have to do in order to get my sort of jerry rigged system to work. And there's a lot of room for error introduced there. Where was I? Okay. Okay. And it's step and then iterative auxiliary. I forgot that this is a verb. There we go. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Uh, Probably easiest to find it through Blue Sky. Yeah, here we go. Um, I'm going to actually link to this video. You guys can check that out afterward. This guy posted on Blue Sky about his dictionary program, and I think that is cool. Go click on that. Hit the watch later, and after the stream, you guys can check that out because that there's it's a promising dictionary program. There, did I even? Let me show it on screen. Um, but it's called Tolerus. And basically he's got some stuff. I think a more user-friendly way of getting a hold of it would help me, and also I have like a couple of things that I have a couple of notes that I gave him about some things that it already has, but I it actually does have automatic inflections, which is super cool. The thing that I wish it had is I don't think there's any integrated sound change applier, which would be which would make that. I mean, the automatic inflections, I might be able to make that work for Dakota. No, that still needs sound changes. Yeah, automatic inflections by themselves do not work for me because I do naturalistic languages with historical development. So, uh-oh, somebody upset upstairs. So that's that's a thing that I would like him to add some functionality for. But again, like everybody makes a dictionary program. People don't people haven't really done the thing that I want them to do with it. But it's probably it's a pretty cool thing. And if you don't mind doing like some things manually with that, then it's cool. So we have Pukai, and we have that all defined. Now let's go ahead and carry that forward to Puho. Ooh, Puha. Wait. Some changes in sound changes. This is why I don't rely on things that. Look at this. Puha. Puha. That's the the third person. Okay, let's export that, and let's go add that to Dawn. So etymology, um, middle fay, Bukai. That's gonna be That's gonna be funny. Okay, so we'll get the pronunciation here in a second. Ox, as an ox, it is. Why did I make it too habitual? And let's go ahead and get the paradigm for the auxiliary. So we want to go into here. And this is modern Bila auxiliaries. And then look at that. So, and it does not only show up in the inanimate. I might be tempted to reduce that, but look at this. Puhashi, puhashi, puhashi. Does it show up? Puhai, 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 puhai. Oh, I need to get more ah. I need to get more ah in my languages here. But puha. So it looks like it appears in the inanimate and the autotroph classes. Everywhere else, something else happens to that that removes the ah that would have surfaced. So that is interesting. And then, so this originally meant step. Let's go ahead and grab that puha. Puha. Puha kind of sounds like an anglophone. Sounds to an anglophone like it could be something to the effect of a curse word. Possibly. Puha. So it's not gonna. So dusk doesn't have the ah sound, so it's not gonna be that. Probably gonna be like puha, 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 something like that. Puha. Um, but it's wild that it ended up like this. So as a verb, let's go back to clicks. What can step evolve into? Do we want to keep it as step, or do we want to? Okay, step as a verb. Okay. Step can become walk or go. I don't like that necessarily. Let's go to that sim shifts. That sim shift has a very limited step. I don't know. Okay, so they have some step. So let's actually look at it as a source. Negation marker, that's French. Act or deed. Some of these are. I think some of these are the noun. Let's go to Wiktionary. There's another place that I go for this stuff. Is okay. Step. So as the verb, I want the verb to step. To move the foot in walking, to advance or recede by raising and moving one of the feet to another resting place, or by moving both feet in succession. Okay, to move the foot in walking. So let's look open up a few. I have not heard these words. Stappen is obviously a cognate, so we can skip that. Where did it come from in English? It comes from Stepan, from Old English Stepan, Proto-West Germanic Stapian, but that doesn't tell you what it can turn into necessarily. Okay. Oh, I already have the check, but I don't know if the check is going to have pisar. So let's take a look. To walk, to step, to pace, to go. Pace is interesting. To stride, to take a step, to go on a long journey, to pass by, to surpass. That's interesting. To pass by. So that's a polysemy thing here. Old or elderly. Okay. Walk, pace, step, strut. Pace is interesting. To beat, to go step by step, walk, take big steps. So this is not really okay. It's from Proto-Slavic. Stepyash. To pace, to step, to strut. Step. To step, to walk, to tread, to step on. Prohibido pisar el césped. Keep off the grass. Okay. And also means bad. It also became a bad word. That fits in with Phoenix's intuition by random chance. I don't know if I'm going to do that. However, I think to pace, I think keeping step and adding pace works well. Puha, 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 puha. Like originally, this was like you added some iterative to it, and then eventually we got to it just can mean pace, right? That seems good. There's a thing on my monitor. I need to clean my whole desk. Okay, so that's done. I don't need to keep sitting there. And now I just want to strike through that. And then I think that I have already done the to do. shui. Right. So, okay, let's go back here. Let's actually. So I have built a different way to handle this. So let's actually go here because I think if I'm going to use it as a verb, I'm kind of going to want just the reduced chart just to not be overwhelmed with um, hello? Can I delete a row? Row, delete row. Okay. Just so I can quickly look up what these are. And I'm going to do the same thing with shui. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this down. And I can just derive this table from this other table. So I can take this, I can go here, I can go boom. And then I'm going to delete a bunch of rows. Hello? What? Why is it not giving me? There we go. Delete these cells. Delete these cells. And then delete this column. Come on. Oh, I don't need this column either. Actually, it's this column I don't want to have. There we go. Shui. Okay, so I want to make that shui, shuilu, shuilu, shuilu. It's interesting. The present tense forms are not. We've got more hiatus happening here. Shui, shui. So, do I want to? Should we? So here's the thing. So Schriftliche, 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 Suzy, Shiji, Shiji. I think what I'm going to do in these cases, and this is part of the reason for actually not doing the L thing in sound changes is run into this and I'm like, okay, Uji. I think I want to actually reduce it. I don't want to have this take up too many syllables. So if I have a good excuse to just bonk and we get shituji, strategy, strategy, and strategy, strategy, strategy. Also, I want to. I don't know why I'm not getting this. Actually, should not be this. This should be um, this one. And if I control H, W, and okay, so not that one. This one should stay. Okay, so no, I don't want that. Okay, let's actually just do this. That's better. And then just to clean up my earlier mistake, we just go. That's better. Okay, 虚负, 虚负, 虚负. And then let's keep looking for, let's instead of let's do a control F and we go with the sequences. 需集 It's happening all through 续集 okay 续集 okay any more 续集续集续集 续集 It's interesting. That would have been merged anyway, so it's not a big deal. Now, that's interesting. So we've got a merger in it's the past perfective. Oh, this just because it's just because there's no variance in the. And then okay, so let's so and then down here we're just gonna have this merge here. We got shu. Um Actually, no. I think that keeping the class 4 and class 5 distinct is important enough that they insert the L there. Surely, 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 surely. Yeah, that feels better to me. So see, there's there's especially for stuff like this, it's good to allow yourself to do a few ad hoc things, thinking about like are they going to let these merge or are they going to change them? So that's all the auxiliaries for dawn. Let's open up dusk. Chica, Shachika, Shachika, Shachiku, Shachiku. Oh my gosh. Shachika fu fu Shatrika fu. So let's go add verbs. Oh, I didn't do the lenition classes. I'll go through and do lenition later. Heading 2, auxiliaries. Heading 3. And then we're going to jump in and go with, we're going to go to the Sylvan notes. We're going to go back here and we're going to go, it's under verbs because I was being dumb about it. Okay, so let's copy this table again, carry it over. And then we want to delete these columns, delete this column. So okay, so Bukai did not make it. I think that the can come back to that. Don't call me Swilly. Don't call me Swilly. Uh, okay, so we'll do this. So what are we gonna do? We give ourselves a head start here. So we're gonna have um what happened? What is it's ha? Right. So this okay, this is the same. So we're going to go, let's go. Oh, I forgot the, that's fine. I can, and let's just go to any other dawn and get the low tone. I'm kind of wondering if the particle form should have a tone. I'm a little iffy on that part. But we can go, now we go to dusk. And actually, we need to rerun this. So we need to go back to the middle Sylvan. So we go back to the middle Sylvan. We're going to rerun all of this so that we can, or we're just going to run it in the dusk sound changes and see what happens here. That's annoying. I hate that. Um, so we need to okay. Hopefully that's right. And then I need to get back here. Kafu, ka. Okay. Let's go and we're going to dump this into here. And then we just need this part for the modern verb. And go to so it ends up being ka. Really? Do we want the Testing. Okay. Sorry about that. I ripped the cord out of my headphones randomly. Okay. Do we want the verb to exist in dusk? So if we go back to ha, we have it still, it became a verb for to stand. And I'm thinking actually, let's see. I think actually I am going to take that meaning of rise, and it's gonna mean to rise. So okay, so here we have kafu, kaha, katu, kachi, kashka, kau, kafu, kai, ka. So debating on this. So we get a lot of mergers in this verb. Um, I think I'm going to actually preserve this, not because it is like it would be fine to merge singular and plural in my mind. It's not a big deal, but it's also merging with the inanimate, which I'm not as happy about. In fact, I could do an ad hoc where this actually redevelops kai. Yeah, I think we're going to actually kai just tax on a regular, like it's an analogy thing, right? It tacked on a regular class 4 suffix, became kai instead of just ka. Um, kapla. There's no. Hmm, kai. It's interesting that the connection is very close, but I think that's like the connection is very obvious for this to become a particle and not a thing. But that's the decision we went with, and I think it is still plausible enough. Okay, situ um, to cease. Now let's check and see. Um, do we have that already in here? So it would be, we have chic, which actually I'm going to change that. We do not have sheath in here yet. So let's go back to um, the auxiliaries here. Interesting. Oh, what happened? So this was not an auxiliary. No, it's cessative. So T2. Okay. Let's go and add that to Elder Sylvan. T2 is there. So let's go find T2. So T2, and I did get to T2. Interesting. Okay, so I never actually filled out a full paradigm for it. So we're going to put this together. This is Um, so it means to stop, and it also is the cessative auxiliary. And we're going to jump in here. T2, T2. I need to actually like pay attention to things. Okay. And then why am I got it? Okay. Okay, so slash tab replace all. Wait, what? Ah, slash T. There we go. Release spaces. So she shu. Okay, so let's see the and then what is going to happen with that? Oops. Let's get back to the middle fay sound changes. Export. And then we go get into here. Oh, it was the 3VI form. I'll go take a look at that in a second. And then actually make sure that this is right here. And then we're going to run this through the dusk sound changes. It's going to be shiswu. She's, yeah. That's what happened. Okay. Export that. And okay. While we're here, let's jump back to where we were. So you were saying in Kapja. Okay. Kinda. So Kapja is a little bit like Kapla. Kapla. Okay, so oh, can I? I'm gonna have to delete things. We got some things that we do not want. What is part of it off the screen? Is that why? There we go. Now let's go to dusk. Did I put this in here? Not yet. A cessative case. It isn't actually the cessative case anymore, though. So it is. If I can pull that up, it became perfect. So it works as, so now perfect and perfective are slightly different things. Um, so this is she's. Um, what I want to get the pronunciation of she's. Yeah. Perfect and perfective. So perfect. Um, English does the perfect construction with have. I have not, you know, I have not been to the store. I have not gone to a concert. It is sort of, or I have gone to a concert before. It's like it's kind of got perfective, but it's also kind of like past of the past sort of thing. Um, she swish, swish, she swoo, she swish. We got, no, that's right. She swish, she swoo, she swee, she swee. This she swee, she swee, she swoopja. Okay, okay. Are we getting anything that I want to? She swala. I want it. She swala. And she swaha. Uh, she's she's with cheese. I think we just want that to be she's with cheese. She's with cheese. She's with cheese. Okay. Yeah. She's with cheese. Okay. That's good. Do we have any other like double I's like that? Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Now, do we want a verb? So it originally meant stop. What can we get from a stop? Stop. Full stop is not to stop intransitive as a source. To doubt? Ooh, okay. To stop becoming comma. That's weird. Okay. How often does this happen? This has happened once. Okay. Let's go to stop is definitely somewhere. Stop. Halt. Okay. Halt is fine. Halt. Stand. Stand. Stand up. That's actually interesting. I think I like this. Um, and this is pretty widely distributed. There's not a lot of examples. So halt or stop. We got stand up. We've got um, we've got stand, and then stand can go to like reside. I think I like that. I think I'm actually gonna make that. If we look at stand. So we got this. That's so ka remains stand in dawn, but the uh, ka in it became rise, so we can have it. So we can have it so that becomes um, so this can become rise, and then let's go find where is it? She's this as a verb came to mean stand, and it kind of actually I can see stand also becoming a perfect, because something like I have gone to a concert before, I stand gone to a concert before, that kind of works for me. Like I stand having done it, sort of thing, right? So I like that. I like that. So she's also means stand. So it meant stop. It shifted to stand. It also shifted from cessative to perfect. Okay. Um, so we want to get our modern verb table here, and are any of the changes that we made also going to affect this? I don't think so. Shiswa versus shis. Okay, yeah. Shiswa. Shis. Shiswafu. Shiswaha. Shiswatu. Shiswatu. Shiswachi. Shiswish. Shisui. Shiswu. Shiswu. Shiswufu. Shisui. Shiswufa. Shisui. Shiswa. Shiswa. Shis. Shiswupja. Okay. Okay, so that is that done, and then I believe that okay. Okay, so we have our perfect tense. And then kutach. So kutach actually survives in this, and I need to see if we actually already have it. Um, uh, well, that's not it. That's what's which. Okay. Okay. So what we want is kutach. Walk. Kutach. And I only have the one. Okay. What is this? Is the dependent form? I need to check on that and see, is that something I need to. So what am I doing? Okay, so don't mind me. I'm going to actually search through my old. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to copy from here this table. That's kind of annoying to copy. And then, yeah, so Pusa. Is there anything about Pusa that we wanted to? Okay. Okay, so we want dusk. And then I want to, if I paste it into, okay, but did I not? Let me go back to that. What was it? I was trying to chest is, nope, it's going to be screwed up there anyway. I don't want that sheet. So we want to get this. Which website are you talking about? Talking about this website? This is clicks. So I will paste it in the chat. So it is, it gives you like words that are polysemous and gives you all these nice maps of them. Okay, where was I? And then we need this. Okay, and okay, that should remove that, and then we just do some line operations. And we should be good. Then we go into Lexergy for dusk. Go in here. And then so let's get our table in. And then we want to, it's kuha. Kuha, okay. And we get back to the middle fay. Getach. There we go. And we'll go ahead and grab the pronunciation. Kuha. And this is, I think this is the habitual, right? It is habitual. And once again, what is the verb? Check and see, do we have walk still? So pusa means walk. I think we can just keep this as meaning walk. And then we're going to go back. We're going to go back here and we're going to get this. And I don't think there's any ad hoc changes we need to make. So we get kuhakpu, kuhaktu, kuhach, kuhach, kuhahu, kuhakja, kuhach, kuha. It's a little bit heavy to be an auxiliary. Kuhapja, kuhakta, kuhakchi, kuhach, kuhakpu, kuhakpa, kuhaha, kuhaha, kuhapja. So I'm wondering if actually we should split this. My thought is that I could actually split this and have an irregular deletion of this ha, so that we get, so we got kuhaktafiz, kuhaptabji, kuhaptabji, tapchi. I feel like if we compare this to the other auxiliaries, we look at all of the auxiliaries here. This one, it's not out of line with that, but this one, this is not quite as bad. I guess it's fine. I think maybe if we do future evolutions of this, as we get, one of the Elvish languages is going to come from like a Koine of Dawn and Dusk. And that one probably will reduce this further. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to here. And we're done with this one. And then the last one, she. So, okay, we already have it. The only thing we're going to need to do is put this in line with the format for our other entries. Still means do or make. So the thing with she in both dialects is that it's recent. She it only recently was it necessary to have she occur. And can I can you let me please select the entire table? There we go. Before this, basically, it was necessitated the development of this was necessitated by the need for a dummy auxiliary after these verbs lost their ability to carry tense and aspect. So this doesn't exist. This this doesn't exist in the night dialect. It does exist in the day dialect. Um, but they all converged on the same. But dawn, dusk, and day all converged on this strategy of let's take do and make it a dummy. Also means imperfective. It's not, but imperfective is kind of like not necessary to mark. Um, I do have example sentences, but let's see. Let's see. I think I have a few in Dawn here. So because as I was working on the definite articles. So bai shafai bai shafai ta taja jihi jihi hui jihi this should be jihi hui, right? No, because it's jihi hui jihi jihi hui. The fairy calls the bat versus bai. It calls a bat versus bai shafai bi jihi 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 hui, right? Bai bai shapu fafo bai shapu fafo taja jihi hui. Bai shapu fafo bi jihi hui. Bai shapu fafo bi bi jipao hui. Jipao pao hui. By tad tadpo fafo tadpo jipao hui. So there's a few example sentences. Still in very simple sentences. It will be some time before I get into more complex constructions in these two dialects and need to figure out how they develop into the how like the middle fei constructions develop into new constructions in these dialects. Um, uh, I don't know if I would say a certain flavor. So, in terms of that, the only thing that I did was I deliberately added in. So there's a mix of like thematic things. Like the class system is a very thematic thing. The fact that these four dialects are four times of day is just from the structure of the Fey, my Feywild, my Fairy. Um, but um, we call it Bukwafai. I have to get that name for fairy in the language. But the other thing I did is it's all a priori, but I added in features that are callbacks to cultures that contribute to Fey lore. So there's a lot of callbacks to Celtic languages. There's a few callbacks to Germanic languages, and there's even callbacks specifically to English because um, you got to understand our modern conception of fairies comes from a whole mix of different cultures interacting in the British Isles. So, and they're not really a preservation of ancient Celtic lore as much as you would think. Um, a lot of the developments that led to what we call fairies today kind of come in during the Roman period in terms of Britain. Ireland's different. Um, and then they continue to evolve as the Anglo-Saxons come and Nordic peoples come. The like the whole notion of elves. Well, elf is a Germanic word. It's an English word. Um, but and fairy itself is French, from a French word for fate. Um, but like it evolves out of the worship of small local deities, some of which are actually Roman deities or are Roman deities that are conflated with local Celtic deities, um, as sort of like local gods of the earth, as opposed to the celestial gods, which are more deemed more important and are like much more of a part of the Roman pantheon. And then um so that's like some of the real world history of fairies, and I kind of want to call back to some cultures that contributed to that. But at the same time, I'm not getting Germanic words in here. I'm not getting Celtic words in here. It's all a priori. It's all secondary world. It's not. It's not at all related to our world. It's just that like I took certain features, like there are initial consonant mutations, right? You see that we have an alternation between j and j. That's um, because of a Lanishan mutation. That's from Celtic. There's the QP split exists between two different dialects, where you saw that Kutach becomes Kuha or Pusa. The Kwa versus the Pa there. That's from Celtic, but having the fact that there's like front rounded vowels and like just tons of vowels is more something I'm pulling from Germanic. I think Celtic languages can have a fair number of vowels though, and specifically this idea that we need a dummy auxiliary is actually inspired by English. It's um, there's a thing we do in English. Certain structures require an auxiliary, so we use do. And it was inspired initially by English, and then I went and I looked up, and Welsh does a similar thing with the past tense, where you stick a dummy auxiliary on there to carry the tense. And I sort of combined those ideas to come up with my thing of, okay, modern verbs no longer can carry tense in some of these dialects. In most of the dialects, night is weirdly conservative, but like day, dawn, and dusk, they need an auxiliary, so they grabbed do to become a dummy auxiliary. Anyway, I'm past time. Thank you for that question that led me on a tangent that took me 10 minutes over time. But thank you everyone for watching. Once again, this poll that I have on Patreon that is open for everybody. Let me jump on. This is open for everybody again. I'll post a link up. I'm gonna leave that up until Sunday night. Again, I'm not like binding myself to the results, but I am using it to gauge like interest in different things, in different strategies for dealing with names. I think I there's but there's not too many people have voted so far. So if you go there and just like get your 2 cents in, that's good. And also, almost forgot. Okay, hold on. We have something coming up. I have set the premiere. Hold on. We have something coming up on Sunday or on Monday is my review of How to Create a Language by Jesse Peterson. So there, you can go and get the thing if you're not on the Patreon already, um, and already have it. If you subscribe to my Patreon, you can have that. But I worked kind of hard on doing this, but long story short, I do recommend this book, and I hope that my arguments in that video will convince some people to buy it. Would have disrupted a fairy residence of some description. So even oh yeah, I don't know if people who believe in fairies will consider what I'm doing dangerous, but I'm just making languages for D&D fairies. Don't be too concerned about it. Anyway, really need to go. Thank you all for watching, and